Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Vote for Holt. I'm Jameson.
And I'm Julian.
And tonight we are celebrating 1,000 subs with our Q&A that we've been putting together this week. Or rather, you guys have been putting it together for us.
Long-awaited Q&A. I can't believe that we haven't done a proper Q&A in over a year on this channel. And there's so many questions that I'm looking forward to answering. I personally just want to get right into it. I don't know why, but the prospect of a Q&A just really excites me.
Yeah, it's fun to just be able to sit down and interact directly with the community for once. So without further ado, let's get into it with some hard-hitting questions. This one comes from Ultra Pro Theories. Big question here. Cheez-Its or Goldfish?
Definitely, I'm on the Cheez-Its team. 100% Cheez-Its. Like, I can see how they're comparable, but I gotta go with Cheez-Its. They're more salted, I think.
I would say Cheez-Its if it's just original Cheez-Its, because, like, if you put any kind of seasoning on Cheez-Its, it gets instantly, like, too salty for me. I just like the original. Yeah.
I mean, Goldfish have, like, pretzel Goldfish, which are good. Colorful Goldfish, which don't taste different at all. They're just, like, different colored Goldfish.
Yeah, that stuff's kind of lame.
I think Cheez-Its have more diversity. There's, like, hot and spicy Cheez-Its. There's, like...
We're really getting into this Cheez-Its debate.
I'm Team Cheez-Its. That's the final answer.
Alright, I'll go with Cheez-Its also. Sorry, Goldfish. Next question from KMat2020. It's a pretty simple one, but we'll go ahead and just clear it once and for all. How old are you guys? So... my brother and I are 2 years apart. I'm 2 years younger.
And I am 2 years older. I'm 20.
And I'm 18. So there it is for the ages. And of course, that's going to be out of date as soon as we turn 1 year older. So there you go.
Keep an eye on when this video is uploaded.
Right. Now our first Nancy Drew themed question comes from Patricia Woody. She says, congrats you guys. I really enjoy your videos. Now, which characters in the ND games do you each relate to most? So,
whoa, relate to most.
So is this the characters then, I guess, that we see ourselves in the most or most associate with? Because I've got my answer. I'll give you a minute to get yours.
Yeah, I feel like I know your answer already.
Yeah. He may not be one of my favorites. I don't even think we put him in the top 10. But Nicholas Falcone, that man, I feel myself in him a lot. I see myself in him in, like, all of his dialogue. Slaying the dragon of corporate generica. He's all about... like, preservation of cinema history and stuff. I'm a big movie guy, and I really don't like cookie-cutter movies that are just no good and boring corporate cutouts that just are no fun to watch. So I feel like he and I definitely are passionate about the same things, and also I just like the way that he talks. So my answer for Patricia is Nicholas Falcone from Game 5.
Bit of an unusual one here, but honestly, I think my pick for who I most, I guess is most similar in a way would be Henry Bollet from game number 17. And that's because I'm a very introverted person. I like to keep to myself on pretty much everything there is in my life. I stay inside, I like my lights turned off, and I just hover.
And you have no living members of your family.
I don't know. Henry Bollet lives like a quiet, nothing fancy life that I kind of just respect, at least, and I also feel like I would handle things the way he handles things the same. Like, I feel like if I was in a relationship and I was getting pushed over, he's just someone I sympathize with a lot, and not necessarily that that's relatable, but, like, I think him and I could vibe, so.
I can respect that.
Our next question here comes from Tina Balducci. She says, congratulations, here's a question. What do you like to do in your free time, i.e. hobbies, when you are not playing or recording for a video? That's a good question. I would say the most time-consuming activity I do, outside of Nancy Drew, of course, would be working out. I'm very into working out. I try to work out 7 days a week.
I try to go with him when I have time.
It's really therapeutic to me for some reason. I don't even work out for the results a lot of the time. I work out just to get stress out and to distract myself from other things that are going on in my life. And then, of course, from that, I am working 40-plus hours a week every week, too, so... I'm always busy. Like, almost every hour of the day. So,
but what do you do for fun?
Working out. That's my answer. It's fun to me.
Okay. Alright then. Let's see. My answer to this one. Don't let the Nancy Drew fixation fool you. I play tons of other video games too, like competitively also. I play Hunt Showdown real competitively in my free time with friends. Casually, I like to play all the old Call of Duty zombies with my buddies, except, you know, Call of Duty hasn't had a good game since like 2015, so that really blows. Apart from that, I love fishing, especially when the weather's nice. I try to fish all year round when I can, even when it gets real snowy up here. Lately on my job, I'm a cashier at the moment. I have plenty of time to read when it's not busy, so I've been reading the Game of Thrones books, mainly to understand where the show went wrong, And I've also been picking up a bunch of H.P. Lovecraft because I really love horror books and movies and games and stuff like that. And I also enjoy working out and lifting with Julian. So whenever I can, I usually go with him. And when he's not available or if our schedules don't match, I just go with some of my other friends. Okay, this next one is a question from subscriber Ray Marie. What other non-ND fictional detectives, excluding the Hardy Boys, would you like to see team up with Nancy to solve a mystery?
That is a good question.
Does Batman count in this in this instance? I think Batman teaming up with Nancy would be a very interesting duo.
Oh my god. Alright, diving into my much nerdier side, I really think that if anyone has ever seen the classic anime Death Note,
God.
one of the main characters from the show, L, Ryuzaki, Hideki Ryuga, he has a lot of aliases. I think he would be a great fit because he is just an absolute supercomputer human who shows no emotion, and I feel like that would be a cool dichotomy with Nancy's very emotional detective savvy. You guys get it.
That would be good. I could see that working. So Batman and L.
Quite the three there.
Yeah. Ethan Court says, my question for both of you is, what is your favorite era of the Nancy Drew games, and how would you compare the different eras? This is a good one, I think. I could talk a lot on this. Do you have anything you want to say first?
Oh, I have an immediate answer.
Yeah, go ahead.
My favorite era, if we're going by like the UI, and that's established on the screen and everything, different interfaces, it's definitely the one that starts with White Wolf of Bicycle Creek.
So White Wolf to Captive Curt? It's White Wolf to Alibi and Ashes.
Yes,
that one.
I think that is the best interface. It's most slick. The inventory is very compact. Everything just flows very nice on the inventory. And also a bit of bias because my first Nancy Drew games were under that type of art, but I just think that those are so clean, the animation is perfect. It's gotta be that.
Yeah, I'd definitely say White Wolf was when the games first started getting lifelike with the animation. Okay, as far as how the eras go, in my opinion, 1 through 10 is just kind of like the classics, I would say. They're all just games that are very dated by the graphics and the game design, but they're still super fun and replayable today. Then I think, actually, 9 through 13 is kind of the undisputed golden age. It's 5 games in a row, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13, that are oftenly regarded as perfect. Those are very, very popular games, and they have, like, I think the strongest streak in the series of just non-stop good games, uninterrupted. Then after that, really, I think the most interesting era would be the late teens, games 14 through 20, because they're very experimental games, I feel like. A lot of them flow from one to another in a very weird way. They feel almost disjointed, and I think it's interesting because so many of those games are hit or miss with a lot of people, like Phantom of Venice, Danger by Design, Kapu Cave. They're all very strange. I definitely love Legend of the Crystal Skull, the black sheep of the franchise, so that's very cool. And then I think that era gets a little bit polished. Games 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25, those are all pretty smooth games, all good there. I think that they're solid and replayable. And then past that, I would just call it the modern era of 26 and up. And then Midnight in Salem, we
Trainwreck.
Yeah. I think that we as a community agree that the games probably peaked at 32. As for my favorite era of those games, I would probably pick the same era as Julian, but like heavy emphasis on the late teens, because for some reason, I feel like those games always feel new to me when I play them. There's always things in them that I've forgotten about, or things that I've never seen, and it just always feels like I'm playing something fresh for some reason when I play those games. Stargears comes to us here with a 2-part question. Number 1, if you could have the next Nancy Drew game take place in any setting, what would you choose?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay, so I heard a rumor once that there was a third Dossier game that was about to be in production, or at least it was teased, but it got canceled. And that game was on a cruise ship. And honestly, I think a Nancy Drew game on a cruise ship would be awesome. I feel like the game they did on a train was a slam dunk. Last Train is generally regarded as one of the best ever. And so I feel like you could probably capture the mobile mindset of being on a ship in the waters and always moving somewhere with a cruise ship game, and I think it'd be a lot of fun. Because really, the closest you get to big ships is Game 32 on the Heerlijkheid, and Nancy doesn't really go anywhere on that, so I definitely think solving a mystery on a cruise ship would be awesome.
Oh, I might have to agree with that, just because I love the idea of It's like a mobile mystery at the same time. So there's something attractive to that.
At the same time, though, as far as the cultural games go, there's never been a Russian Nancy Drew, and I think that would be awesome. To the second part of this question, this is a question that excites me. If you could each choose 2 games each to be remastered in a way that makes them better, which would they be and why?
In a way that makes them better?
Yeah, because I think we're going to have some similar answers on this one. You want to go ahead and take a second to make yours? My first pick for this one, might be a little bit surprising. I would go with Game 15, Creature of Kapu Cave. Because I feel like Kapu Cave goes really, really fast because it's split up between Nancy and the Hardy Boys. Nancy's side is very boring, besides when you're snooping around the Healy facility, whereas the Hardy Boys get all the cool stuff. I think the game would be awesome if it took place over the course of multiple days, if there was more surfing puzzles and stuff that you could do at Big Island Mike's instead of just the repetitive fishing and making seashells. And I think it'd be cool if there were nighttime sequences on the beach and in the jungle. I think that'd be scary and cool.
I have my answer. One of my answers. Absolutely, I would do Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake with either the addition of many more dog hauntings, which the game very much needed, or an entire 4th suspect, which the game also needed. The game, as it stands, is very good, but it needed one of those 2 things really badly, and a remastered version with updated graphics at beautiful Moon Lake with Ghost Dog hauntings. Oh my god, that would be beautiful. That's definitely my number 1.
I want to say Blackmore Manor, but to be honest, I feel like Blackmore holds up just fine today. So I would say my second pick goes to Treasure in the Royal Tower, just so that it could have maybe a longer runtime than it is. Because I love that game so much, and I play it to death that I feel like it just goes by too fast now. Definitely to get a new culprit and just write
Lisa out of there.
Yeah, get Lisa out of there. You can keep Hotchkiss and Dexter. Maybe keep Jacques. I don't know if you can place him some better, but get Lisa out of there. We need a new ending to that story.
Okay, my last pick would be Blackmore Manor, with Ethel being a fully functional suspect in the game and an outside moor area that we can explore.
Alright, so you're going with Blackmore. I think that Blackmore, even graphically, holds up very well today.
I don't think so. Its secret passageways are way too dark and annoying, and I think they need to be revamped and relit.
Alright, well I can respect that. So those are our picks. This question comes from our friend of the channel, Sylvia. She asks if you could bring an item from the Nancy Drew games into the real world, what would you pick? And then she also adds, I pick Nico's research from Deadly Device. Well, now you make me feel stupid for saying Carl's board games.
Nico's research was a good one, damn.
What else is there that would be good? Oh, I've got one, but you go
Wait,
first.
no, wait a minute. Does this have to be an inventory item?
No, anything in the game, because you never have Nico's research in your inventory.
No, that's a good point.
I have a good one that I would probably pick over Raid.
What?
The unpublished works of Edgar Allan Poe from the end of Waverly Academy.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool, I think. I think Poe is a pretty cool author, and having an entire collection of stuff that he never released.
What a question. This is so good.
Yeah, that would be a pretty good one.
I would go with the Crystal Skull.
Oh god, that's such an easy one. Why didn't I think of that?
I was gonna say that, or either the entire eyeball collection.
Why would you want the eyeball collection? The Crystal Skull.
Pretty cool.
The Crystal Skull is pretty cool,
Okay,
and it gives you immortality.
I'm doing the Crystal Skull.
God, I should have picked one of the other skulls. Another question from Ultra Pro Theories. Here's a good one. Favorite sitcoms. So, finally breaking away from Nancy Drew related. Sitcoms is any show that's situational comedy, right? It doesn't have to be like the film before a live studio audience.
Yeah.
Okay, then let me think of how I want to do this.
Favorite sitcoms.
I
would say that I like Parks and Rec more than The Office. Which is very controversial.
I have a lot to say about that. I think that The Office at times is funnier than Parks and Rec, if we're just talking about those two right now. But Parks and Rec has way better characters, whereas The Office is just carried by Michael, Jim, and Dwight. But if I had to pick a show that was just the funniest all around, first 3 seasons of Arrested Development, that stuff is just so funny. Netflix really botched it when they tried turning it into their own show, so as far as sitcoms go, I might have to pick Arrested Development as my favorite.
Arrested Development's humor is so good, and and I feel like it's the most underrated of the 3 too. I would go with Arrested Development 2, and then I would rank it Parks and Rec, and then I would go The Office. But they're all 3 good shows.
I might do the same. Julian and I grew up watching the same stuff, so we might just be in agreement on that one. This question comes from Chromie, a longtime subscriber. He says, what is one of your favorite videos that you have made? Okay, what's your pick? What is the most fun that you've had making a video?
Favorite video we've ever made? I've really liked top 10 spookiest Nancy Drew games for some reason.
That was a really good one.
That is one of my favorites just because it's
we got to make it around
strange.
Halloween time.
Yeah, it's whenever Halloween comes around, something about me wants to play Nancy Drew games because
especially the spooky ones.
Well, yeah, of course. Those just like there's a ring in my head. They're the hardest ones to ever forget. They're so well done, and they're not even like marketed as horror games, you know.
That might be my favorite top 10 video we ever did, but if I had to pick an all-time favorite, I might go with the Kahoots, honestly. I think that the Kahoots are so much fun. Everyone's always in such a good mood. People get so competitive, and twice in a row now, Cheryl has sweeped #1.
Yeah, I think Kahoots are so much fun.
It's really crazy to see how these people know their Nancy Drew trivia.
It's really eye-opening.
Sometimes I'm afraid that I wouldn't do as well as they would.
No, I don't think I would either.
Next questions come from Amber Trident from the Discord. What are your astronomy signs?
Oh boy.
No idea. Whatever January is.
Well, it's different. I'm an Aquarius, but I believe Jamie is actually a Capricorn because he is earlier January.
What is the difference?
It's a date that is separated mid-January. I just need to confirm when it is.
Huh.
Jamie is also an Aquarius. He just made the cut.
Okay.
So we're both Aquarius. There you go.
How about that, Aquarius brothers? Follow-up question. Have you introduced these games to others and it went awkward or poorly? If so, please share the story.
Yeah, I've played them with my best friend, Nick, before, and I believe we played Sea of Darkness when it came out. And he liked the game. He was actually taken back by its graphics. He thought it was really pretty, but he couldn't get past some of the puzzles, and he was quick to drop it because of that. He got frustrated.
Okay. A long time ago, this is a funny story because it comes back recent. I was trying to show the games to my buddy Justin, and I didn't even remember it, but he told me the last week because I was telling him about how the channel was doing really well and we were about to hit 1,000 subscribers, and he said, I remember once that you tried to get me to play a Nancy Drew game like 5 or 6 years ago, and I'm just like, oh, which one was it? He goes, I don't remember the name of it. I just only remember a little bit, and I'm just like, what do you remember from it? And he goes, there were these giant gates on this castle, and like you went in between them and they almost fell down on you, and I go, yeah, that's game 24, the Captive Curse. He just cursed me out because he thought I was such a nerd for knowing what it was immediately. But yeah, so my buddy Justin, that's a time that I tried to get someone into the games and he did not fondly remember them.
I'm trying to get a close friend of mine into playing Shadow at the Water's Edge with me. I really think she'd like it. She's been a friend of mine for a few years now, and she's never even heard of Nancy Drew games. So I'm unsure how it'd go, but wish me luck, because I think I'm gonna ask soon.
Grand Grant. Ooh, this is a weird two-parter. Okay, so the first question is, who is your favorite companion in Fallout New Vegas? And he says, and if you only want Nancy Drew questions, then what is your Nancy Drew hot take? I don't think Julian's played New Vegas. Am I right about that?
Mm-mm.
Okay, then that's my question. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Dean Domino from the Dead Money DLC, because I honestly love Dead Money. I think that the Sierra Madre is like terrifying. I might like it just as much as the base game. I know that's probably a controversial opinion for people who play New Vegas, but if I had to pick base game, probably Cass. I think Cass is really cool. And then as to the Nancy Drew hot take. Okay, Nancy Drew hot take. So this is like an unpopular opinion.
Unpopular opinion? I don't know how unpopular it is, but I was gonna say slider puzzles are my favorite puzzle of all Nancy Drew games.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Of all Nancy Drew games?
Just slider puzzles, yeah.
That's unpopular with me, I'll tell you that much.
I love slider puzzles.
Okay, my hot take is that ever since Game 10, Her Interactive has flopped every 5th game. I mean, like, the only exception I can think of is Alibi and Ashes was okay, but Creature Capu Cave, not very liked in the community. Ransom of the Seven Ships is no longer available on Her Interactive. Alibi and Ashes, like I said, it's fine, but it's not like a casual fun game. Game 30 was a disaster. For some reason, they messed up every 5th game after the 10th game. So, that to me is definitely a weird pattern, and that's a hot take I will stand by. And then our final question comes from Lena Thurier. She says, what would you guys recommend for someone shy, plus new to the channel and Discord, to get involved in more with the community? And my other question is, what are your most and least favorite animal characters from the series? Okay, first part of the question, when it comes to the Discord, everyone's always talking and playing about things that are not just Nancy Drew. So, like, if you want to talk about food, or movies, or TV, or music, or video games that aren't Nancy Drew, literally anything, just hop into the Discord, you'll find a channel for it, and there'll be tons of people there ready to talk with you about it. Likewise, like, every night in the Discord, I hate that I never get to make it so often. People are just playing games. I know they've been playing a lot of Phasmophobia lately, and they just hop into voice chats together, and it's a lot of fun to watch and hear about, and they make memes of each other in it, so that's pretty cool.
I mean, whatever you're looking for, I would have to say our Discord, just because we cater to so many different backgrounds and so many different skills. We have channels for just about everything. My personal favorite is the art channel, because you wouldn't believe how many incredible artists we have in our community.
Oh, yeah.
And we always update our work and what we're posting and everything.
If one thing you are an artist, feel free to pop your art into the creative channel on the Discord, because I always love to see what you guys are making.
So yeah, I've never come across a single person I've disliked in the server. So we're all friendly faces here. We don't bite, and we're here to support each other.
And moving on then, what is the least favorite and most favorite animal character in the series? I hate the birds. I do not like Cuckoo at all.
I don't like Cuckoo either.
Lulu is acceptable, just because she was the original. And then, apart from that, Maiko the Ghost Dogs. Bruce, Eddie, Meryl, and Cheryl.
I'm going with Iggy the Iguana.
Oh, Iggy's a good one.
Yeah.
Now I want to pick Bernie. I don't know.
No, it's definitely Iggy. He's so well disciplined that dressing him up and he retrieves just a mango and stuff.
That's great. And just a quick freebie, because I saw somebody ask it. I think it was Ray Marie again. Would you consider live streaming any of the indie games in the future? Yes. Next weekend, I'm actually going to be streaming Waverly Academy, if I find the time, just as a back-to-school special, because it's going to be right after my first week of school, and I'm probably going to have a bunch of stories to vent about, and I'm sure you guys will too if you're also going back. So we'll just have a good time, take a load off, grab a drink, and we'll just have a fun time in the chat talking about our semesters. So then, that concludes our first Q&A. I don't know if we'll do another one soon, but I had a good time with that. It's always fun to answer questions and know what you guys are curious about.
Q&As are really so much fun. I want to do them more frequently. We should do them more frequently, honestly. So don't be afraid to ask any type of questions, whether it's catered to one or the other, about our lives, anything like that. So, yeah. Thank you so much again, guys, for 1,000 subscribers. That sentence doesn't even sound real, but it is.
And don't forget that about a week from today, assuming this goes up on Friday the 20th, we will be hosting our third Nancy Drew Kahoot, and you can find more information on that in the Discord, link in the description as always. Otherwise, I'm your host, Jameson.
And I'm Julian.
And thanks again for watching our video, everybody. And don't forget to vote for Holt.
Vote for Holt.